What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. If you guys are new to the channel, do me a favor and hit that sub button, hit that notification bell, make sure you're not missing any of the awesome content that we have coming out. With this video, we are jumping into Batman The Knight, issue number 6. If you haven't been keeping up with this series, be sure to check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It'll get you completely caught up on everything that has been going on with this 10-issue series. This is the early days of Bruce Wayne, traveling around the world, going to all of these teachers and learning to become what he will eventually be, and that is the Batman. But along his travels, he has ran into an individual that calls himself Anton, and though it doesn't explicitly say who this is, as he keeps his identity secret, we can only assume that Anton is in fact Ghostmaker. And this issue, it really does solidify the idea of Batman not using guns. It deepens the lore behind the idea of why he did this to begin with, why he made this rule. So be sure to buy the comics, support the industry, and with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, so issue number 6, it brings us to British Columbia. In the backwoods of Canada, we have a man who is hunting a deer. Being one heck of a shot, he shoots that deer directly in the head, dropping it down to the ground instantly. He quickly learns that somebody is watching him. That somebody is Bruce Wayne and Anton. The man shooting an arrow at Bruce Wayne. He is able to catch it, but the man then loads 3 up into his bow, getting ready to launch this. He lets it be known that he's not working for any government agency. Nobody has sent him here except for Avery. Him not really understanding why they were sent here, why she would send them here. They inform him that they are here to train. They want to be trained by the world's greatest marksman, known as the Swiss Mark, Luca Jungo. Luca lets them know that they have wasted their time because he's retired. He is no longer a killer. Bruce lets him know that they aren't either. In fact, they want to be trained so that they can stop the killers. And to do that, they need to be better at them at everything. Willing to help them only because he owes Avery his life. He tells them to grab the deer and head back to the cabin. The next day, over the next couple of weeks, they begin their training. They start with bow and arrow. And after weeks of training, we see Anton has really got a great grasp on archery, ready to move on to targets, moving targets, and guns. But Bruce is falling a little bit behind when it comes to archery. Unable to relax, unable to really take that patience, draw that bow back, and fire it. This is where Bruce Wayne, he shows off a little bit. Because this isn't necessarily him being bad at archery, it's just not something that he wants to do. Pointing his bow up to the sky, he is able to take a duck out of mid-flight. So we see that the skill, the talent, it is definitely there. When he had worked with a nomadic tribe, he learned from them, learned how to read the environment, to feel subtle shifts in the earth, in temperatures, in the changings of the wind. This is when Luca decides that they are ready to move on to moving targets. Anton more than ready to move on to guns. Luca is very hesitant to do so. As they sit down one night and they're having dinner, this is where we get Luca's backstory, or at least a little bit of it. The reason that he is out here in the middle of nowhere is because he was one of the best assassins the world had ever seen. Working for Switzerland's government, they more or less had sold him out to the highest bidder, being sent to countries across the globe. He took out all kinds of targets, but after one mission, he decided to quit all of it. Avery is the one who gave him a Canadian passport and this little slice of land to live out the rest of his days in peace. His last mission down in Mexico, he was supposed to take out a target, a guy that was supposed to be a very bad guy. Taking out his target, what he did not anticipate was the man's family. They were about to scream, they were about to set off all the alarms, something that he could not have. So he killed the wife and he killed the son, believing that guns just make this too easy. It makes killing far too easy. And so if they are gonna move on to guns, he wants both Bruce and Anton to promise that they are never gonna utilize this training, that they will only use it so they have knowledge on people that would use guns, to disarm those that would use guns in violence. As they swear this to him, their training in guns begins. Bruce Wayne, he hated every single second of it. Holding a gun, firing those rounds, it just reminded him of being in that alleyway, of the coward that shot down his parents. The truth is, he doesn't want to use a gun because he is good with them. He is great with them. He could easily make this his weapon of choice, knowing how far he could go down that rabbit hole. This is where he draws his line. And while Bruce Wayne is fantastic at shooting, Anton is just as good. That's what picks us up a little bit later. Bruce and Anton had gone on a hunt. As Luca looks over the kill, he sees that the deer had been shot in the neck. This is not how he trained them to kill animals. With how good of a shot they are, he trained them to shoot them in the brain, to make it quick and make it instant, so that they feel no pain. This deer, it had suffered. They could have made this kill very quick. They have the skill and ability, but Anton, he seems to enjoy what he is doing. As he goes to walk away and make dinner, this is where Luca gets up and he pulls a pistol on him, telling Anton that he is a killer, that he never should have trained him. He knew it from the very beginning. He tried to ignore it, tried to push the thoughts away from his mind. Didn't want it to be true, but it is. Anton will use guns to do great violence on individuals, believing that he is an absolute psychopath that needs to be put down. Obviously, Bruce tries to interject, tries to let him know that this isn't the case. Anton, he may be rough around the edges, but he wants the same thing that Bruce does, letting Bruce know that he will never understand the darkness, never understand it like Luca and Anton. This is when Bruce Wayne has to pull up his gun onto Luca, begging him not to make him do this. But Luca tells him that this is how it has to be, believing that Anton is a good person, wishing that there was another way. As Luca goes to pull the trigger, this is where we hear the gunshot. Bruce Wayne had shot Luca in his hand, telling him that he didn't have a choice. He tells Bruce that he is foolish, that he will never survive in this world, and that he might not even survive through the night. That's where we see Anton pick up that handgun and he puts a bullet right into Luca's head. This is where Bruce, he absolutely breaks, murdering Luca in cold blood after he had been disarmed. Anton believes that this guy would have stopped at nothing to hunt them down. Anton for him just being a psychopath, and Bruce Wayne because he shot him, saying that they are friends, but nothing is going to stop Anton from his mission. Not sure if he is going to shoot him, not sure if he is going to take this risk. Bruce is able to get close enough. He is able to move fast enough, and he knocks the gun as it fires. This is where we see the fight break out. As they fight, they are arguing. Bruce trying to figure out if all of this was just a lie. Is Anton actually out here trying to help people, or does he want to just go killing everyone? The truth is, Anton just wants to be the best. He wants the challenge. And stopping crime, it is more challenging than committing it. Believing that the two of them, they could have been the greatest of all of them. But he thinks that Bruce is just too weak, that he's too much of a coward to do what needs to be done. As this fight continues on, we see Bruce Wayne just getting his bell rung. Anton getting a good hit on him, we see Bruce fall back and he bangs his head on a tree. With him on the ground, Anton goes and picks up that pistol. He goes to put a bullet in Bruce Wayne's head, but he stops himself, saying that this would be too easy. He throws the gun away and he walks off. As Bruce Wayne wakes up later on that evening, he finds that Anton is gone, and now he is all alone. The one friend that he had on this whole mission, that is now gone, and he finds himself in the shadows. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. You know, they don't come out and explicitly say that this is Ghostmaker, but honestly, who else could this possibly be? With this kind of training, this kind of know-how, every single box that Anton is, Ghostmaker also checks. From the way he fights to the way he uses guns, stopping at absolutely nothing to be the best. What does have me curious is what Bruce Wayne will do next. Will he go chasing after Anton, trying to find him? Or will he just continue on with his training? Will he go finish his mission so he can become the Bat of Gotham? Let me know your thoughts, let me know your theories. If you would like to support the channel, you can always do so by hitting the Super Thanks button. This button will let you donate directly to the channel, and every little bit helps us out. Now, if you can't do that, do me a favor, hit that sub button, hit that notification bell, make sure you're not missing any of the awesome content that we have coming out, and until the next breakdown.